Hello, and welcome to what will probably be a series of me talking about Silent Hill. We're going to start out with mainly talking about James from Silent Hill 2. This is unscripted, so I might go off on some rants, and I might get a little off topic, but that's fine. So first off, James is a piece of shit. I mean, there's no denying that fact. He killed his wife because he was horny, because he could not take that she was sick. I mean, he couldn't handle it. She's the one that's fucking dying, and he couldn't handle it. And some people are going to be like, oh, but she was mean to him. You know, she was fucking dying. So what do you expect? I mean, you just kind of put up with that and deal with it. But no. She comes home to spend like her last days with James, to just kind of try to live as normal as a life as she can for her final days, and James takes a fucking pillow and smothers her to death. There's no defending that, yet there's going to be people that will try. And the thing is, James realizes toward the end of the game that he is a piece of shit too. Depending on what ending you get, him killing her, him doing a mercy killing, was not really why he did what he did. It was more because he couldn't handle it. So let's take a look at the dialogue from In Water. After James kills Maria, he talks to Mary, and James asks for forgiveness. Mary tells him that, I told you I wanted to die, James. I wanted the pain to end. And James says, that's why I did it, honey. I just couldn't watch you suffer. But then he says, no, that's not the whole truth. You also said you didn't want to die. The truth is, part of me hated you for taking my life away. Taking his life away because she was sick, he looks at her as a burden. Because he couldn't live the life that he wanted to live. And Mary says, you're killing me and you're suffering for it is enough, James. But that's really James forgiving himself. He does this because Maria's dead. I mean, Mary's dead. So Mary cannot forgive him for what he's done. Even in Silent Hill, this is not really Mary. This is James with another manifestation, and he's forgiving himself. Let's look at some of the dialogue from the Maria end. Before the final fight, he sees Mary and she's like, I've been waiting for you, James. James is like, I'm sorry it took so long. And she asked, didn't you want to see me? He said, yes, I wanted to see you. Even an illusion of you. Which, she is an illusion. She is not real. Even when she's talking to him at the end of the game, she is not. She is just another manifestation of James. Mary says, that's not true, is it? You killed me. And he said, like, I couldn't watch you suffer. She says, don't make excuses, James. I know I was a burden on you. You must have hated me. That's why you got rid of me. James says, it's true. I may have had some of those feelings. It was a long 3 years and I was tired. Yeah, okay. That doesn't give you the right to murder your wife. Just because you're dealing with... She's the one dealing with the illness. She's the one that's dying. You just need to be there for her. That's what you needed to do, and you couldn't do that. I mean, you even stopped visiting her in the hospital because you're a fucking coward. I mean, James is a fucking coward, and that's all there is to it. And here, James can't even forgive himself. Mary says, James, do you really think I could ever forgive you for what you did? So he kills Mary in the final boss fight. And he leaves with Maria. And this is probably my favorite ending because, she coughs. And that just kind of goes back to he's going to have to go through this again. And that's fucking what he deserves, is to be in an eternal loop of Maria or whoever he manifests in his mind in Silent Hill to just die over and over, for him to deal with that. because that's what he deserves. He doesn't deserve a happy ending. He doesn't even deserve the in-water ending where he just kills himself, because that's an easy way out for him. He deserves to go through this again and again. That's like another reason why the letter, Mary's letter to James, is so heartbreaking, is because she apologizes so much for being sick, like it's her fault. And James, I don't know if James, I don't think James thinks it's her fault, but I don't know, it's just, it's like after a while he doesn't care. I mean, she says stuff like, I don't know if you hate me or pity me, maybe I just disgust you, because she's sick. She's glad to be coming home, but she's afraid that James doesn't even want her there. I mean, this is shit that James has made her feel by the way he's acted toward her when he's actually come to see her, the way he's acted toward her. And she says, I'll always love you, and she wouldn't trade their time together for anything. You know, stuff like, I can't tell you to remember me, but I don't want you to forget me. Like, she thinks that James doesn't even want to remember the good times that they had. And she apologizes for what she did to him, and she did lash out. She even says in the letter that she lashed out at everybody that she loved most. But you kind of got to understand what she's going through, and you kind of got to give her some room to be mad, to be angry, because she's dying, and she doesn't want to accept that fact. I mean, when we all see our mortality, if we see our death coming up, you don't want to accept it. Most people are going to be afraid of death. That's just the way it is, especially at a young age. So again, you've got to give her time to kind of mourn her own mortality and let her be angry, and just kind of don't take it personally, which James did, and he ended up taking it out on her in the worst way possible. I mean, we do see some humanity within James when he's kind of dealing with Angela. You know, he shows that I know that I say he's a piece of shit, and he is in the way that he treated Mary, but he does show, like I said, some humanity when he's dealing with Angela and her wanting to kill herself, what she's doing, like during the fight with the abstract daddy after he kills it. You know, he tries to comfort Angela, but she's, I mean, understandably, she's very messed up right now and doesn't really want him to touch her or even really talk about her. So again, he's showing that he does have at least some empathy toward other people. On the stairwell, James again shows that he has empathy when Angela says that she deserves what happened to her, that her mama said she deserved what happened. And I mean, James says, no, Angela, that's wrong, you don't. And you know, she asks, will you save me? He doesn't respond. I mean, I don't think he really knows how to save her there, and he's not gonna love her like she asks. And there's really not a whole lot he can do, but he won't give her back the knife. She asks if he's saving it for himself. He says, no, I'd never kill myself, which, depending on what ending you get, is a lie, of course. I mean, he kind of shows that he's kind of suicidal by jumping down all the holes in the game, you know. So basically, James is a great catalyst and vessel to tell the story of the game, but he's not a good person. And while it's a little more gray than just James is evil for killing his wife, the reasons why he did it still makes him a terrible human being. Just a garbage person. And a coward. I mean, there's no getting around that. Like, you can defend him all you want, but there's really no defense for what he did. Like I said, there's plenty of dialogue at the end that shows that James was angry at Maria for being sick. he was angry because his sex life was non-existent because she was too sick to have sex with him. So the combination of his sexual frustration, him just not wanting to deal with her sickness anymore, wanting to move on with his life, he saw that as a reason, a good reason to kill Mary. The whole "I did it" mercy killing thing is, again, just, it's a lie. Although he probably told himself that that's not the reason why he killed her. So, yeah, I guess that's about it. I don't know, I just kind of I'm kind of bored today, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about James. I think next time I'll just talk about the first game, and, while I like it, the good things about it, the few bad things about it too. But, yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it didn't piss you off too much. If it did, leave a comment below on why I'm completely wrong in my assessment of James, or leave a comment if you agree, or whatever. So, thanks for listening, and I hope you guys have a great day.